So you can still see my screen, yeah?
Yeah.
So there are a few platforms that we're going to be using primarily to actually go in and attract people that have high ticket offers. The great thing about this space is it's so easy to find people that are running high ticket offers. It truly is. And so when you look at the type of companies that we are looking for, we're talking about coaches, consultants, influencers, agencies, tech companies. I'm sure there's other things that in the investment space, real estate space. There's just so many high ticket type of offers out there. It's endless. Fitness space, it's crazy. So finding them is really, really easy. Now, one of the platforms that we use is LinkedIn. It is just an incredible wealth of knowledge. This is the platform I'm going to focus on today for today's training, but it works on any platform, the exact same thing that I'm going to be teaching you here today. There's a lot of tips and tricks when it comes to LinkedIn. I've been using LinkedIn for a very, very long time. The first month I learned the system in what I'm sharing with you today, I made over $80,000. In the high ticket space. So it works extremely well. Now, the first step of this is you need to make sure that your profile is like dialed in. First impressions are everything. We learned this in business forever. It really means a lot. So you need to have your profile be on point. Now, John, do you have a LinkedIn profile?
Yeah.
You do? Okay. Let me search for you and let's take a look at it. John J. I think that's it, right? Is this you?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Boom. All right. So obviously, first thing here is you don't have a profile pic. So
I do. I don't know what's going on. I have it pulled up right now. That's
so
weird.
It might be because you're in your settings on your profile. You'll see here. You'll see here. Where are we here? Right here, I think it's public profile and URL. If you click on this guy here, you can see your settings of what people can see if they're not already connected with you. So you want to make sure that you have your photo and your profile photo and everything opened up to the public. So here it says profile photo, public.
Yeah, mine says public right now.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, I might have to just
very
re-upload it or something.
Yeah, that's typically that doesn't happen. So I'm surprised. Might be a glitch in the system.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, it's still not showing up for whatever reason. That's okay. So just make sure you get that kind of fixed, whatever you can do on your end. Another key thing here as well is creating a custom URL. So you have a bunch of numbers here. I would suggest customizing your URL so it reflects who you are.
You think it could be because I have a temporary like ban thing on my account. With the other offer I had, we were doing leads. We were getting our leads through LinkedIn, and so my account was like reported as selling stuff and basically like fraud, false stuff like that. Do you think that could be it?
How long is your ban for? First off,
it said it was a temporary ban. It happened like I want to say like 4 days ago.
Oh, okay, so it's fairly recent. Usually they don't last too long, and sometimes they'll make you jump through some hoops to get verified. But LinkedIn is a pretty big stickler in terms of how you interact with LinkedIn. If you move too quickly, send too many messages or connection requests, you're going to get banned pretty quickly, or just sort of temporarily suspended. So that could be a result for sure. I don't know. But the second thing here is you have very limited information on your LinkedIn. You have very limited experience as well. So I know you've been running, you've been working for quite some time now. I'd really encourage you to kind of fill this out a little bit more. Also, another thing that you want to really keep in mind is you don't want to be using the word like sales, SDR. You don't want to position yourself as I'm going to sell something to you. The moment somebody sees that you're a salesperson, the chances of them interacting with you diminish significantly. And so you want to position yourselves as a person of authority and not a person that's trying to sell something to somebody. So if you go over here to my LinkedIn profile, you could clearly see that mine has nothing to do with sales, right? It has areas of focus that I have interest in or that I work in terms of sectors, but it doesn't say that I'm a salesperson in anything that I ever do. Because the word salesperson has become a bit of a bad word, and you want to again position yourselves as moral authority versus somebody that's trying to sell something to them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, so you could use something like this in your tagline. Just make it your own. Just have key industries. I would go with industry and not like what your role is. So, my industries are real estate, private equity, venture capital. Those are industries that I have that I've been focused on over my career and what I have a keen sense of interest in. Versus, hey, I'm a sales guy or I'm a business leader. Like to me, that stuff just doesn't make sense. I also put a couple of things in here that are my key passions. Being a man of faith is very important to me, and I've done a lot of business with people just because I have that there. And then lastly, I have I'm a jiu-jitsu junkie. I train MMA, boxing, all that kind of stuff. I know you do as well. You could put something like that there as well for yourself.
Okay, cool.
So that this piece right here, very important because that's the first glimpse. When somebody lands on your profile, this is what they see. They don't look down; they look right here. This is somebody I want to do business with. Or this is somebody I want to connect with. This is somebody I want to have a meaningful relationship with, and they will completely judge you based on that. So
Okay, so you don't want me to put like high ticket sales in my
no,
for industry, or what would we put for industry then?
That's a good question. Looking through your past experience, just look at the type of industries that you focus on. That's what I put kind of from an industry perspective. So I guess use your best judgment there in terms of what you want that to be. Could be marketing. Marketing. At the end of the day, I'd say we're a marketing agency. So that could be something that you could put as an industry.
Yeah, I'll just put that one.
You could put fitness, you can put whatever you want, whatever you have experience in as an industry. That's what I'd put here in the tagline, right?
Okay.
And then or industries that you have an interest in. If you have an interest in real estate, put real estate. If you have an interest in investments, put investments.
Yeah, I can put marketing and coaching because
yeah,
we're trying to onboard coaches, so that'll definitely.
Yeah, whatever you feel is best suited for you and who you feel that you are, for sure.
Sure.
All right, next up here, where's your profile? I think that's about it for that piece. Obviously, we want to make sure that your profile pictures pop in. You do have a banner image, which is good. There's nothing wrong with this banner image. You can make it more personable if you want to, but it's not needed.
Okay, cool.
What else here? And then obviously filling out your experience. Oh, activity. You have no posted activity. This is the next thing people are really going to be looking at is right in this area of activity. So activity and as well as potential posts and articles that you write. Activity goes a long way on LinkedIn. If they see that you're an active member, especially because you only have, where are you here? You only have 15, 16 followers. If they don't see that you're an active member of the community, they're going to think that you're a bot or some sort of spammy person. And so it's really important that you fill out your activity. So what that means is creating posts and sharing them and commenting on other people's posts or reposting other people's posts. So for me, I try to, like, obviously it's been a while, 3 months, but at least it shows that I have activity. So I reposted somebody else's post, I reposted this post, and I posted a post of my own, right? So it doesn't necessarily mean you have to post. As long as you're reposting or commenting on other people's posts, it's going to show that you're an engaged member of the community. Make sense?
Yeah, okay.
The next piece here is just making sure that you fill out more of your experience that you've done over the years. That's going to be an important piece as well, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect. What else? I would probably try to stay away from titles like appointment setter or high ticket closer. And the only reason being is because, again, people are going to be less likely to interact with you. So you can use a different adjective to describe what that position is. So you could put like project consultant or something along those lines. I think might be a better type of wording to use on offers like this.
Okay, yeah, I can definitely do that.
Yeah. The only other piece that I don't see here, which I think is extremely important, is to have your friends, family members, whoever you know, recommend you, right? The best way to get recommended is by giving recommendations. And so you can trade people that you know and to give, and you receive a recommendation. And so you just ask one of your buddies or somebody that you know on LinkedIn to give you a recommendation, and then you do the exact same thing for them, right? It's the best way to get them. I've had a ton of I mean, I still have some pending. That's how many I've gotten over the years, but that's a really important piece as well, because they showed, hey, this is a legit person, and I potentially want to do business with them. So from a profile optimization standpoint, that's really it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I'll just I'll go over your account and I'll just like mirror some of what you have, like stuff like that, so I can get a perfect page down.
Awesome. That works perfectly well. So with LinkedIn, it will have a pretty significant amount of people that we'd want to be searching for. And so that's the next piece. Once you get your profile dialed in, now it's time to let's start connecting with people.
Okay, so LinkedIn's your go-to, like what you do your outreach with.
Yes, it is definitely my go-to. I spent more time on LinkedIn than I think any other platform alive. I've been using LinkedIn for a very long time, just simply because I feel like it's a platform that's a little bit easier to do business with. But that being said, because of the nature of the type of offers that the companies that we're engaging, they may not be on LinkedIn. Like a lot of these high ticket offers are on Facebook instead of LinkedIn. So you're going to find the platform that works best for you. But just again, for the purposes of training, I think this can be used on any platform. What I'm going to be showing you here today. Make sense?
Yeah.
Beautiful. So the next piece of the puzzle is like, how do we find the people that we're looking for? So obviously, it's not going to be the people that you're immediately connected with, being that you only have 16 followers. We're going to be looking at our second and maybe potentially third. For you, it'll be probably third as well, because you just don't have the numbers yet. I have over 25,000 followers on LinkedIn. So for me, like, I'll have a significant amount of second connections. Like I got 2.4 million people around the world. You're not going to have that immediately because you just don't have the number of connections that's needed in order to have that volume. So you're going to want to be clicking on probably third as well. So when I put my third on, obviously you can see there's over 1 billion results. Now this is where we need to start narrowing it down even further. So we know generally we know which markets we want to hit. We want to hit North America, both Canada and the United States. So I'm going to just go US just for the sake of today. And now we're going to look at the type of companies that we want to engage with. So LinkedIn, I'd say the top companies are the easiest to engage with would most likely be agencies. Agencies will be very easy to connect with LinkedIn because they all have LinkedIn profiles. Every single agency does. So now it's about going down to the filters over here and deciding what type of companies that I want to be able to engage, and that's usually in the industry sector. Now I'm going to go over to what if they have a marketing internet marketplace, marketing services right there, right? The second piece I want to do is I only want to be talking to the decision maker. So that's going to be the founder, CEO, president. That's the person that I want to be talking to. Those are the three words of who I want to be focused on: founder, president, CEO. Anything other than that, I really don't want to be engaged with. So when I go over here and I show results in the United States right now, there's over 17,000 results. The people that I can connect with immediately that has some sort of digital marketing agency that is a founder. I haven't even gone to the CEO yet or president yet. So we know that we have a significant amount of people. Make sense?
Yeah.
So the first piece when we're engaging on LinkedIn is obviously we cannot message them right away. We have to become friends with them first, and then we get to be able to engage with them. If you have LinkedIn Premium, you can send an email, but in my experience, it doesn't work. It's important to engage somebody first, and then and once you're connected with them, then you can start the line of conversation. Make sense?
Yeah.
So let's just use Mr. Alex, who's at the top of my list here, as a perfect example. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to really want to see if this is an ideal client. And so will this person actually have a high ticket offer? Have they been around long enough? Is this a legit business? This is going to give me a pretty good idea of how long the business has been around. So Lender Lift looks like it's only been around for about 6 years. And it looks like he was a potential realtor before that, or sorry, 6 months. So it might not be the best company because it's only been around for 6 months, but let's go take a look at it. It's got 11 to 50 employees, so maybe it's a great company. It sounds like it's more of a tech company versus a marketing agency, but could be somebody that we'd want to have a chat with. So the next piece of the puzzle is let's go take a look at the website. I don't go for lending and mortgage company. Let's see what their services are. It says who we help, about us, fix your leaks, analyze and audit, implement, boost your numbers. Our services right here. Okay, so they are business optimization, digital marketing, website, and branding. We know all three of those things are high ticket offers. So this will be an ideal client. He doesn't have a lot of, well, actually quite a bit of reviews already as well. It's weird because it says he's only been in business for 6 months, but he has reviews. Looks like he's worked with a bunch of companies. So this could be a really good fit. Now, companies that have only been around for less than 5 years, obviously they don't have large sales teams. They probably have one BDR that's producing all of this business. So it could be a really good fit because they'd see a lot of value in, hey, let's have an army of setters and closers getting us business. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So this guy would be somebody that ideally would want to have a conversation with for sure. So I will. The next step is, okay, now it's time for us to connect with this gentleman, right? Now, there's two ways to connect with somebody. You can either send without a note or you can add a note. I always send with a note, and there's a number of reasons why, which I'll show you here in a moment. So if I go over here to my network and people that are reaching out to me, you can see here I have a lot of invites right now, invitations. I have 230 of them. The person that's sending an invite that gives me a message, I'm more apt to have a conversation. Like this guy right here, Simalalala, whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah.
I am 1,000% not going to accept that invitation, right? I don't know who he is. He's got a very weird name. It doesn't show. There's no message. It's telling me kind of what he wants. I'm not going to answer that. This guy, he took the time to say, it was nice speaking with you today. Boom. Already have a connection with him already, it sounds like. I'm looking forward to exploring more positions with you in the further. I'm going to accept that because it's personalized. I understand why we're connecting. Now I'm going to accept his message. So this piece is really important. And that's why when adding a note, this goes a long way. Now, I've been using LinkedIn automation and LinkedIn for a very long time. I've perfected what should be said here. And I have it written down right here. Where is it here? Blah, blah, blah. Now I gotta find it. Might not be in here. Oh yeah, here it is. this is what I use every single time in order to connect with somebody. So I'll post it here, Alex. So, and I'll kind of explain why I do it this way. So when it comes to sales, especially with this type of sales, you want to be extremely disarming. You do not want to give somebody the chance to build up their walls. And so you probably get this all the time, John. I know I do constantly on social media. People are leading with the sale. Like I am a sales setter for this organization. We've helped companies do this, and this is the result that I give. The chances of me engaging with that content, unless I need that service right then in that moment, are slim to absolutely none. I hate the cold type of messaging like that. My true goal here is I have to earn the right to do business with this guy, and I can't just shoot my shot immediately because I'm going to get rejected 99.9% of the time. I have to take my time to get to know somebody in order to earn their business and engage in a formal conversation to build trust, to build value, and to really kind of build a relationship. Once I know that I have a relationship on solid ground, then I can actually have a conversation where I'm building value in terms of my services and offerings that I can help with, right? So here, it's great to connect with you. Would love to see how we can mutually benefit from being connected. I look forward to getting to know you. This message, just simple message, the amount of responses that I get from this are usually around 40% of people will engage with me just by sending the invitation. I don't have to go and message them again. They will literally just message me back from this message alone, right? So I'm going to put this in the chat. Actually, I'll put it into our group chat here, right there. Probably be a better place to house it. That's the first line of messaging. So once I press send, it's going to go out to this guy. And if I'm not at my max, so I'm not at my max, he's going to receive that message and he's either going to respond or not. Like I said, 44% of the time they're responding to that. So for me, I use LinkedIn automation software, and it obviously saves me a lot of time. So right now it's at 41.2%. 41.2% of people respond to that message alone, which is absolutely incredible. This is called Walaxy, by the way. If you ever want to automate your LinkedIn process, you're able to do that, and it will save a lot of time. It also, because it's an automated tool, you will never get banned on LinkedIn because it plays within the limits, which is great. And it knows when to send messages and when not to send messages and how much time should be in between sending messages. So really, really phenomenal tool. So that's it. What's that?
Does it cost anything?
Yeah, it's $120 a month. LinkedIn Helper or Linked Helper is another one. It's cheaper. It's one that I've used religiously. Linked Helper. And they offer a 2-week free trial. So I would recommend, if you're just getting started in the business, you want a little bit more cost-effective way of doing it. Theirs is way cheaper, and it comes with a 2-week free trial. So I'll put that in the chat right here as well.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
I actually like it better because there's a lot more things you can do. It's not as user friendly as Walaxy. You have to know kind of what you're doing, but they have a lot of great explainer videos of exactly how to use the software, and they have a whole knowledge base section. So I do prefer it because the Walaxy is a little bit limited, but the UX UI design of Walaxy is just way nicer. Like, just it's so slick. So I usually bounce back and forth between the two, to be perfectly honest with you. So now that this guy is waiting, he got my message, it's pending. When he gets back to me, now what do I do? That's the most important piece, is that next step in building a relationship. My LinkedIn, like, I don't really look at it anymore because I've been just so busy these days. But I mean, I get from my campaigns, it's just like hundreds and hundreds of people respond to me. And it's because the next line of engaging somebody is extremely, extremely important. And so for me, once I'm engaged with somebody, let's say Mary, who sent me an email, I'll just use her as an example. The next line of how I want to connect with somebody, again, it's, for me, I take a very lackadaisical approach. I don't take a hard approach in engaging somebody. I take a softer approach in engaging somebody because for me, again, it's all about earning their business, right? So for me, a message like this is something that I follow as my next step in terms of potentially having a conversation with them. So it's, again, very disarming. Hey, great connect with you. Look forward to getting to know you. I just moved back to Calgary after living in Vancouver for 8 years. Look forward to building my network here and would love to see how we can mutually benefit from being connected. Let me know if you'd be open for a chat, right? Again, I'm not leading with the sale for that first message when I'm connecting with them. I'm leading with like, hey, let's see how we can mutually be value from being connected together. Once they respond to that, hey, would love to see how we can mutually be connected. That's when I start engaging into my sales process, right? That's when I'd be like starting to like, okay, tell me about your business. Would love to learn a little bit more about your company, what you guys do, and you know, I'd be happy to share a little bit about ours as well. They'd be like, oh, fine, that's awesome. And then they'll start writing, they'll start saying, hey, this is what we do. We are a marketing agency. We run marketing services. We focus on mortgage companies and insurance companies. We've been in business for 10 years. You want to get them to start talking about their business. Once they start talking about their business, the next step is kind of dig into like what they're doing for sales right now in marketing. Like, oh, that's awesome, man. Like, tell me, like, do you have a sales team? How are you guys able to get that much revenue? They'll start talking about how they get their revenue. Okay, awesome. They have, you know, a small sales team. They got one SDR, and they have one account executive. Oh, fantastic. They're doing about, you know, $2 million in revenue. This is awesome. That's when I go in for my pitch, right? I'd be okay, that's great. What I'd like to do is I'd really love to hop on a call with you, really get to know your business. And I think that we can have something very valuable that could really help expedite the growth. Would love to hop on a call to see if we can work together. You know, something along the lines, using your closing skills there to kind of get them on that call. Whole idea here is to get a booked call, right? So go ahead.
And you have the messages from the other 2 clients you post or the other clients that you landed, right?
Yep. Well, the other 2 clients I landed are my own friends, so it was pretty easy.
Yeah.
Just have a conversation. Hey, dude, I'd love to get set you up with a little bit different approach. They're definitely not cold approach. So a different structure there for sure. Here, we're going to have to start organically just building out what that scripting is going to look like for this offer. I haven't had it dialed in yet, but from what you see, I'm going to post this one as well to kind of show you kind of a next step in terms of what that next conversation or that next message should look like. Once you have that next message, they're going to engage with you right here. That's when you know you kind of got them in terms of their interest in having a conversation with you. And then they'll be pretty forthcoming in terms of telling you everything that they know about your business. That's your role at this stage, is to find out as much as you can about their business. Once they've said, yes, I'd be open to a chat, your goal right then and there is how much information can I learn about their business, revenue, how they're getting sales, who they focus on in terms of their target market. Those are all things that you want to kind of know. And in that line of questioning, you also want to really kind of uncover maybe some of the pain points that they're experiencing. If you understand what their pain points in terms of growth, like if they say they had $2 million revenue, like what gets you to 10 million, right? And or what would stop you from hitting $10 million in revenue in the next few years? You know, that's how you're going to open them up to understand, what pain points do they have that's stopping them from tripling their revenue, quadrupling their revenue, 10xing their revenue? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Once you have that, then once you have that ammunition of like who they are as a company, where they are, where they want to go, and what their roadblocks are, you can then pitch them into getting them onto a call with us, right?
Okay.
Sound good?
Yeah.
So it's going to be kind of a little bit of trial by fire during this first little bit until we know what type of messaging works. I can kind of give you general ideas of how to engage somebody, but we're going to be spending this next little while, myself and Philip, who is right here on the left. He's going to be our sales manager. It's going to be we're going to be building out the frameworks in terms of exact messaging from cold DM messaging of what it should look like. But I think anybody can really kind of do what I suggested for now until we start building out that framework. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I can do that.
Perfect. And that's really it. Now with LinkedIn, again, you're very limited in terms of messaging and how many people you can message. You can only connect with 200 people a week, which is a lot of people. But out of that 200 people, how many people are actually going to accept your invitation? So then it gets lower. And then how many people are going to actually start with a conversation? So it is limited in how you can approach it. Now there is a hack on LinkedIn that people don't know about, and I'll show you what that hack is today. So I'm gonna go here. Yeah, discard groups right here. Can I see my groups, or are these all my groups? Yeah, these guys must be all my groups. So I'm gonna look at a group that I think would be social media marketing group. Let's just look at this one, for example. This one, I don't know how many members there are. 2.6 million members. That's a lot of freaking members. With LinkedIn groups, I can message any member of the group without being connected to them, without without having to send an email. I can automatically send a message to any single one of these people. And so it's a bit of a LinkedIn hack that like literally nobody knows about. I think my team is one of the only people that know about this hack. And so I can look at their members right here and I can literally message them
Okay,
because we're in
yeah,
the
that's
same
cool.
group, right? Now, and there is a bit of a cap on this as well. They're like you can message unlimited times, but you have to do it methodically. You can't be doing it, bang them all in a row. We found that our guys were getting a rate around approaching that 100 message mark. They were getting, hey, LinkedIn was setting that warning, like stop doing what you're doing. But 100 messages is a lot of messages. So it's actually, you can actually bang out quite a few messages. For our setters, we know that the magical number is we want you to be able to DM 100 people a day. Like that's the KPI for this. So we want you to be able to hit whether that's Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, or the combination of all three. We know that once you hit like over 70 on LinkedIn, the chances of you getting a warning are pretty high. So you want to probably spread that out between a few platforms like Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. You'll want to engage people throughout that. And so splitting it, I don't know, 30, 30, 30 or something along those lines. Make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I could also bust it out like 100 on each because I know Facebook has a thing too.
Yeah.
So
However many you want, man. The more our minimum is 100 engagements a day. But obviously, my experience working with setters for as long as I have, the guys that hit those 200 plus mark are they're the real winners. They're going to make the real bucks. So again, that's all on you there for sure. But as you can see here, there's a lot of people that own digital marketing companies. There's one right here. Fairly easy to be able to get a hold of them. A lot of SaaS companies as well. There's a lot of technology companies that have high ticket offers. What we deem as a high ticket offer is anything over $5,000. So there are a lot of SaaS companies or platform as a service companies that do have high ticket technology. Those are people that we'd want to be engaging as well. So LinkedIn would be a perfect place for that. In terms of like coaches and consultants and influencers, there are a lot as well on LinkedIn, but I'd say they predominantly use Facebook and Instagram on those. So maybe you'll want to use LinkedIn for agencies and technology, and Facebook and Instagram for the influencer type people, if that makes sense.
yeah,
So that's really it, man. That's it in a nutshell. How you do it and how you split up your time and where you message between Facebook, Instagram, and all that kind of stuff. That's completely up to you. But this is the framework in which you're going to be using in order for you to get a successful transaction. And so for your
okay,
goal is going to be 100% booking meetings. That's it. And making sure that we get as many meetings as we possibly can. Now, what I want at minimum is 5 booked meetings a week from each one of our setters. That's a pretty low bar, but we're going to test that out, the 5 for now. I used to book when I was setting my own appointments, 20 meetings a week on my own, over 20, sometimes it's 30. I'd hit 20 to 30 booked meetings per week on a consistent basis. So I think 5 is a pretty low number, but we're going to start at 5. So at least 100 messages a day and at least 5 booked meetings a week. So that's literally 1 a day.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I definitely can't because I'm putting this full time because I'm not working anywhere else. So
Yeah, exactly.
definitely.
No, I definitely know that you can far exceed those numbers, but we're going to set the bar low at the beginning while we're getting everything up and ready because we know it's going to take a little bit of time to put together our frameworks. We're also going to put together a deck for our closers to go through on the call. That's going to take. We'll probably get that done within the next week. So in the meantime, we're gonna set the bar a little bit lower just to make sure that you know we can kind of test and see what's working, what's not working.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do we have closers right now, or is it just you?
We have 2 closers right now, myself and Philip.
Okay. So
Yeah.
for
And
booking meetings,
if you want to book, if you want to start closing too, I mean, we could definitely, if you want to self book your own meetings, I mean, you'll make 20% commission and then plus revenue share. So, you'll be making a lot of damn money. So, there's that possibility as well.
okay. Do you do live transfers for like, let's say like, build up urgency and try to get someone to, just live transfer to a closer right away? Or
No, not at the beginning. We'll probably play with live transfers later on, but for now, I mean, really the earliest they could book. I think our system sets it between an hour. There's like an hour buffer time. Yeah,
okay. And is there a specific link or is it
there is.
just the website?
There is a specific link. Which is where am I going to find the link? I'll send you the link here in a moment as well. Yeah, right there. Calendar link. You can use this one. It's just a landing page with our calendar. You can. What I prefer is that you book it for them, so you have this open and you just enter in their information for them on their behalf. So you can do that right immediately while you're having a conversation with them. So what's your name? What's your availability? And just enter it in themselves. Because if you send this, the chances of them following through with it diminish again. So I always suggest
Okay,
you
yeah.
enter in the information yourself. So you set the time and just enter in all the information you need. And then as a setter, you want to make sure that you're putting all this additional information, like how the conversation went, who the company is, put as much notes as you possibly can in this spot right here, right? So I'll put this into our group chat as well.